UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. This is your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. I'm your werewolf. Back again here on another Thursday. I think I'm probably going to be soloing this topic right now. Our Lady of Valor seems to be of dire straits. I haven't gotten word from her yet. Hopefully she'll show up maybe in the middle of the stream or hopefully early in the stream. But if anything, I'll try my best to carry this topic myself. We'll see. Today, people were talking about quite one of the huge issues within most media and many topics of interest and advertisements. Of course, you see it in advertisements. Of course, you see it so much in the media. Of course, you see it in even social media, how they push this this identifying characteristic on everybody. We have this thing called body positivity in the community, which at its core, I'm gonna give you guys the original purpose for body positivity, and I will give how people have come to tarnish it, to twist it to their own personal gains, to really turn it into something that that encourages people to partake in the worst kind of activity, if you will, and then they try to beautify it, for lack of a better term. And it's called body positivity and harmful propaganda. They've turned body positivity and harmful propaganda. I have my own stance on other harmful propaganda propaganda. I would say a lot of propaganda can be pretty harmful, but the propaganda they're pushing nowadays is very, very harmful to many of people who are listening to it and being very conditioned to follow it. You see it in many of our shows, our cartoons, even some of our video games, where they try to push these these undesirable body types. To some degree, they even over exaggerate it, or at least they under exaggerate these body types, and they try to condition you into liking these type of body types. You see it in the thumbnail where you see that there's the skinny woman that's pushed in the far back. That's of course that's a stock image, but you see this kind of image everywhere anyways, where the skinny woman is no longer in the center view inside the group. You got the plus size woman directly in the center now, where you also got the moderately thick woman on the outside. They try to alienate those type of preferable body types to push for more of the obese side of the plus size. Now, don't get the wrong idea. You guys heard from the Wolf Commander many times in the stream. I do like me some thick woman. Heck, my wife is pretty thick herself. She's very thick in all the right ways. You know, I wouldn't be looking for rhinestones at all being with that woman. That woman is a beautiful woman. I will say so myself. She's of a healthy build too, somewhat. I mean, she's trying to get into the thick of exercises just like me. She's actually been encouraged thanks to watching me exercise every once in a while. She's been very encouraged to exercise. She says she dances a little bit to exercise. She does a few jumping jacks, maybe some jump rope. So just a little example of of who I'm tied to, if you will. Before I continue further, I will welcome the chat. We have Brian Gale Martin with his ever so lovely quote, "This gonna be good." Schooner Tuna, as early as well, he says, "I am here." We have Eloise Dotto. You've been here a few times, but I'm glad that you're here as well. We have Melissa Harris, and it seems like she's sticking around this time. So hello, Melissa. Trooper FN 2525. Hey guys, I wouldn't miss this for anything. Well, maybe the Mars lander left. No, Melissa, I don't have any children. I have I've decided long ago to not have children. That's my own decision myself. My wife is also comfortable with that notion as well. She doesn't pressure me for children, and I don't pressure her for children. So we are, of course, comfortable not having children. Um, but I do have nieces and nephews, so not that I live vicariously the father life through my nieces and nephews, but I try to be a male role model to my nieces and nephews as best I can whenever I get the chance, and hopefully they might have somebody to look up to when they can't find anybody else to look up to. Well, like I reiterate, you see it in the let's just say you see it in the media, you see it in the news, you see it in the advertisements that they try to push this message that we're supposed to like all body types. Now, let me tell you what the original message of body positivity is supposed to be. It is to be accepting, well, and also yeah, be accepting to all body types. Yes, but there's also other imperfections there's that you're willing to overlook, to really look beyond the imperfections to find the inner beauty. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. And what I mean by that is that, say for instance, the woman is an amputee or the man's an amputee. That doesn't matter because and the woman is beautiful on the inside. The amputation is a lot of people would like to say is the ugly thing that people tend to over exaggerate in the years of old in most movies and most media that the just because the person is an amputee doesn't mean they can't be loved. And I've seen a lot of couples who are married to amputees. That is the truth that cuts through the lie that they try to present in the movies. There's also the ones with skin blemishes or skin burns or burn victims where you look at the person dating the person with the imperfection and you often wonder how are they able to see past that imperfection. It's that one word, love, of course, and affection. It would never matter to anyone what the person looked like. It all matters is the character, the personality, and the affection that they give in return when you offer affection all the same. That's why you see things like a very elderly person dating a somewhat mid young person, like mid 30s or mid 20s. You got the 40-year-old dating a mid 20-year old. I'm talking about 22 to 27 at least, and you wonder how those two got together like that. Then you can say there's this tiny man dating this very large woman, and I mean by plus size woman being his wife, and you wonder how that two click well. It doesn't matter. It's the affection and the love and the character personality of that person that's what drew them together. You can even say that a tiny woman is dating a super gargantuan dude, and you're like, whoa, that's actually interesting. So yeah, it's and right. You are Brian Gilmartin. You said there's even people with facial scars who still nonetheless look attractive. Yeah, they try. Yeah, you see it sometimes in the shows too that they try to make scars look. They try to say scars are his, but you got this model esque woman with all this carefully placed makeup, and and you got this cute looking scar on her face, and they're talking about some my scar is ugly. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! You're trying to tell me how ugly. Vikings did a better job with the scarring. Um, I'll give you one example of an ugly scar. Like there's this one character in Vikings, and sadly, she was a one-off character, and I kind of wish she could have came back in that. I think she did actually in the later seasons. I'll have to revisit that series from beginning to end. I kind of fell short on it, but she receives a battle wound on her face, and the one of the main characters who was her beau at the time is trying to look past that scar, but she can't seem to get her mind off of that. Like, and she's all jacked. I wouldn't say she's completely jacked up, but like the scar makes her look freakishly jacked up. Like you got, it's like a very big scar across her chin and across her mouth, and her eye is bloody. So it's very it's not pretty. Let's just say that. I mean, she's still gorgeous. Don't make no mistake about it. But if they tell you the scar, it looks hideous. It looks hideous. You see what I'm saying? It looks hideous, and I believe it. But I'm like, you're still hot. But yeah, I get why you would think that because yeah, the scar does look hideous, and he's the rest is history. They don't really stay together that much, but I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying my best. I still haven't received any word from the Lady of Valor, but I'll send a message to her real quick. All right, I sent her a message. Hopefully, she'll pop in. Hopefully. Anyways, now what the social progressives have done with the body positivity movement is that they're trying to sell you the disgusting parts of the body. You know, hairy legs, hairy arms. Sometimes, okay, stretch marks. That's another thing that we can always overlook too. We always overlook stretch marks because the woman's beautiful, anyways. But the hairy legs things, I'm like, y'all are going way too overboard. And then they're taking it to taking it way further than that. They're trying to say a proctor. What are you talking about? I'm just typing. Anyways, they're trying to push it to where they don't even want to do hygiene anymore. They don't want they only want to take care of their hygiene. Um, they also try to push the trans community into the to the body positivity movement too, which I don't know, guys. They don't even have no set standard on what it means to be trans anymore. Concerning that you can just say I'm trans and don't even go with the transitioning anymore, and they'll just believe it now. You're supposed to believe that a man who just say I'm a girl who doesn't even go through the transition can automatically be accepted as a girl, but that could be another topic in itself. They even push the whole non-binary thing, which I am still a powerful proponent of. That is a make believe term that they're really trying to they're trying to use that as a get out of jail free card. If you ask me, a lot of people co-opted that gender term. They're trying to find ways to do terrible things, terrible things to people, and they're trying to pull that card like just like the race card with certain groups. Uh, Another thing would be is that they're trying to they try their best to try to elevate black women to a higher standard. by pretending that they got so hard, so hard in life when it comes to finding a potential mate or a potential husband. When black women have no trouble doing that if they knew where to look. They have this idea where they try to prop up black women, but then they have to rush to prop up the next Hispanic woman, and then they try to prop up the next Asian woman. Oh wait, they're actually shoving those ladies out the way now because they find them competition. You, they're trying to do all this catering, and like we did in 2 Thursdays ago, me and Leiaplussize, they try to do all this pandering, but they're afraid of competition. So they try to exclude. They talk about this whole thing about body inclusion, race inclusion, and all that stuff, but they exclude the race when they start casting a shadow, if you will. Now it's funny how they all unilaterally agree that the white needs to go out, right? The white out, as I like to call it. But they try to prop up the minorities as best they can, and they struggle so much to try to up quote unquote uplift them as if they're supposed to be the saviors of minorities, which I'm sorry, minorities have always been at the top of their own game by their own means before any of these social progressives stepped in, which is sad really because we hardly ever have any people telling you to push yourself, push past your limits, to shoot for the stars. They try to prop this idea that um, they are challenging beauty standards, if you will, of old. Which is funny because there's been a lot of women out there that's already been pioneering these body types that they say that they're crusading for. It's really sad how a lot of these social progressives try to act like they're first. They've always been the first. This is why they try to eliminate history. They're trying to eliminate history in the class because they want to be the egomaniacal first. They want their name on it, but they don't have that name on it because it's already been copywritten. But that's me getting ahead of myself. Let me swing it on back again to the body types that they're trying to push, like the hair. It's really trying. I would say the whole hairy legs and stuff like that, hairy arms and all that. I'm gonna say right now, as crass as I'm gonna say this, penis ivy. In their minds, man don't have to shave their legs, so why should we? We should be all natural, right? I'm okay with a woman who chooses not to shave their legs if it's a cultural thing. If it's a cultural thing. But to say that they're trying to be equal to man by pretending to be man, try to imitate our habits, that's never going to work in their favor. Never ever going to work in their favor. And I don't think any lesbian will ever want a woman with hairy legs. It's funny how they try to prop up that those pictures of lesbians, and one of them has hairy legs and the other one doesn't. And I'm like, no woman would ever accept another woman, no matter what their lifestyle is and their sexual orientation, will ever accept a woman with hairy legs. I'm sorry, unless it's their fetish, which no kink shame on that one. But like, to accept that, I'm like, no, I'm sorry. They're trying to be boundaryless, but they sooner or later they're gonna have to realize they really gonna have to impart some restrictions. You know, and they try to push this upon children too. They try to, you see how they try to do the body positive movement with children too. They try to bleed it into the children, and that's where my main concerns come from, is that they target the children most of all. And to me that comes off as them being possibly closet pedos, if you ask me, men and women, of this kind of ideal. There's not. It's funny that they try to be all about body inclusivity, but they never keep the skinny characters in, or at least they don't take the extra mile to really examine each body type, like women with large breasts, women with medium breasts, or me with women with the lack of breasts. You see it a lot when it comes to the body positive movement. When they design the characters, only the fat people are allowed to have breasts, but the skinny people, no, 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 you can't do that. Great. Now I'm imitating the professor here. He trademarked that no. It's going to be a habit of everybody's at this point. I even caught Silent Graver doing it in our stream here and there, verbatim too. Sounds just like the professor, but feminine. Don't hate me, Silent Graver. I'm just saying I caught that. Moving on. Now I'm about to lose my train of thought. I don't know where they're going with these ideas. None of us do actually. None of us really do. None of us really see where's the aim, where's the end goal. Because you see all these movements, including this one. They have no end goal. They act as if it's a never-ending battle. To say the least, they act as if it's a never ever ending struggle. They don't know how to win, guys. Not like our predecessors before that actually made headways, that made complete progressions and really shattered the glass ceiling, if you will. They'll never understand what it's like to win and what it feels like to win. Even when people bend over backwards and bend the knee to them, that's still not enough for them. I said this to Troy on MeWe earlier. This is never going to stop, and I apply this to every faction of activism I've seen since the time I've been born. That these guys never stop. It's never enough for them. Greed is the sin here. I guess I can pause for a bit to look into your comments so y'all can help me out with this one. This is supposed to be Leiaplussize's stream, so I was going to let her lead. Hopefully she'll pop up, guys. Pray for her, guys. Hopefully she's not in trouble. Hopefully her internet is working and her electric is working, because I know I've heard some wild stuff been happening in the States. I've had my share of power outage yesterday, and even my connection was kind of off. But let's start from the top. Now we're here. Start from the top. Now the whole team here. Sarah says her son Jake likes Asian women no matter what they look like. Looks are not everything. No, they just get your attention. Actually no. Looks is supposed to get your interest. The personality and character is what has your attention, and hook, line, and sinker. So yeah, you're right. Looks are not everything, but they help. That a lot of people who try to push looks ain't everything, push that desire for not taking care of yourself, grooming yourself, taking time to groom yourself to look presentable. They want the. I'm saying this, and I've been repeating this time and time again on social media. Nobody wants the burden of responsibility, and I need to add this to the phrase too. Nobody also wants the burden of discipline. It's discipline It's what keeps us on an even keel, keeps us on a straight and narrow path. We all know where the discipline comes from. For those who are of faith, they have the faith to keep them on the discipline. For those who have self control and personal responsibility, with the lack of faith, has that personal personal responsibility and self control. Those who are of different faith, again, has the principles and the disciplines to keep themselves on an even keel. But no, but that's what they're pushing. Bad habits with this whole obesity thing with Tess Holiday, of course, of all people. Uh, the whole not shaving your legs. The whole, if they were, let's just say, if they were really inclusive, they would be pushing amputee models. The first amputee model to grace the front page of Sports Illustrated. Maybe they really was all about body inclusivity. You would think they'll push for somebody with skin blemishes on on the screen on the page. Somebody with, say, a skin condition, if you will, or a burn, scars even on display. But they don't want to do that. They don't want competition. They never want competition. They want to push all this body inclusivity, but they don't want competition because they're so full of themselves and so me 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 my I. True for FN 2525 says, I agree with Wolf on some of this stuff, but there are biological points involved too. Body positivity is propaganda money treating obesity as a spending demographic, and that's correct. That is very correct. Who's gonna buy it? Who's gonna buy into that body mode? Not many people will. Not everybody prefers to be fat. And here's another thing: most fat people don't like to be reminded that they're fat. Most people with excuse me, with stuff that they deal with on a regular basis, that's a negative. They don't want to be reminded of that constantly, especially, and they don't want to be reduced to a joke in comedy of all things. I'm also going to get into the hypocrisy too in a bit, especially when it comes to the man. Melissa Harris says Jake said body positivity sounds stupid. I even agreed about that. I was like that just sounds so dumb. Why don't you call it for what it is? Personal responsibility. Healthy, call it for what it is. Healthy lifestyle. They don't even want to push healthy lifestyles anymore, which I'm going to get into as well. Hopefully Leiaplussize will jump in, and I'm going to stop mentioning her, at least until we see it happen, or maybe hopefully I'll solo this. Maybe this might be a short stream. We can do a part 2, and she'll pop in next time. Anyways, next comment will be Brian Gilmartin, and he says, it really seems like people are just using body positivity as an excuse to not better themselves physically. That is correct. They're using any activist movement to push no responsibility at all. Black Lives Matter don't even want black people to take responsibility for themselves or at least take responsibility for the community for its shortcomings. They want let's call Black Lives Matter for what it is on two fronts. One, they're race hustlers, and two, they're terrorists, domestic terrorists, and a cult. Actually, that's 3, but I still stand by those 3 terms I go them by: domestic terrorists, cult, and race hustlers. Race hustlers are people who use their race for money, their grievances, if you will. That's what a race hustler is, guys. Just for those who are not in the know. Uh, True FN 2525 says, when I say spending demographic, it's been established that Americans in general are overweight, which is mainly true. Rather than treat it as it was a health crisis, they exploit their wallet with intensives. And he adds, like any propaganda, it establishes a platform that makes it normal to suffer from obesity caused by various factors. And they also, some people like to live vicariously through them. Senator Proctor says the individual is the ultimate minority. At this point, yeah. And like I said, white is the new minority that's being oppressed. Ryan Mars says, totally agree about the skinny with the big boost thing. See also Uzaki-chan. That's a whole them having a problem with America though. I mean Japan. They need to leave Japan alone. Japan is a rigid community that has actually learned from their mistakes and learned to move on from their past and move to a better future. America needs to catch up at this point. That's why Japan, despite all the disasters that Japan has ever experienced in its lifetime, it still perseveres. I guess it's true what's going to happen in the future from I'm gonna say this, guys. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah for the Heisei era. As much as I have mixed feelings about that movie, it might be predicting the future that Japan might be the superpower in the near future because at the rate that they're going, we're going to be groveling at their feet at this point. That's what I want to say. Tour FN 2525 says, generic example, if there weren't any size 40 men's jeans tomorrow, then guess what? You got to put down the Twinkie. Melissa Harris is quoting the definition of insanity, which we all heard before, so I'm not going to say it here. Trooper FN 2525 says there are individuals that, for one reason or another, are obese. Health complications is that they're excluded. We're talking about average teen or young adult that has access to a pair of sneakers. Yeah, this is not, just to clarify, this is not for the ones that have a weight issue that's exclusively biological and genetic. This goes for the ones who are actually too lazy to actually work hard for what they want, who actually don't want anything, but they demand things. They don't want to do anything to work for their meal, but they demand you to give them your meal. Let's just put it like that. Let me rephrase. They don't want to work hard for a meal, but they demand you give them your meal. If that makes sense. Sam Proctor says, you don't want competition because they'll lose. They know they'll lose. That's why we have boys who actually says they're biologically female and they're actually protecting in female sports. And let me say that right now before I move on to the next comment. I call those boys cowards. I will say this: boys who say who claim, quote unquote, claim that they're biological female or they transition to compete in female sports. I'm gonna say this right now: they want an excuse to hurt women. That's what they want. They want these are the guys that wants an excuse to hurt women. So they'll try anything in their power to do so under the guise of, well, I'm protected now by the trans community. Well, I'm protected now by the non-binary community now. So I get to do what I want. I can do whatever horrible thing to this woman, and you can't say nothing to me about it because they got my back. And these idiot activists will follow suit and try to build a weak shield because they're fragile in their rhetoric. a weak shield around these types of individuals under the guise of protection. We're protecting our own. Oh, but they're supposed to be peaceful. They're all about peace. They're all about justice. No, you're all about revenge and violence. Stop lying to yourselves. I don't know that I don't know the name of that. What is that? Is that it's retail? Is that a clothing store? Probably. Militaries, they're all over the place at this point. It's not just it. You can't just limit it to Adult Swim and Toonami anymore. They're all over the place. People are shamed into to promote them. That's how they got so big at this point. It's not just Toonami. Make no mistake about that. They're all. That's why I say they're. I would say this to date. BLM is the largest cult the largest influential cult that I've ever witnessed. They played their cards right. That's the only smidgen of recognition I'm going to give them. They played their cards right on certain situations. I think the chat just jumped. Nope, I'm actually caught up. I go more into Simon Proctor. I've often compared it to how the evil queen tries to kill Snow White. In essence, she's eliminating the competition. Yeah, and I kind of wish we went back to that type of storytelling in the media. I used to head tilt that type of trope in media, where there's the older woman competing with the younger girl. I want that to come back now. I don't like this new elimination of competition that they're pushing nowadays. Santa Brother says, I told one of my friends to be a terrorist in 2016. He didn't believe me. I hope your friends saw religion on that. Slightly overweight, Melissa? You think so? Maybe slightly. I don't think he's overweight. He might be putting in some pounds, but I don't think he's overweight. Unless the doctor said it. Trooper FN 2525 says, now if you call it out for what it is, it's morbidity. It takes on a different tone. No one is for committing to health habits that lower quality of health. Ragamer says, another thing about this, there's plus size and then there's stick and apple in its mouth and roasted in open flame. The latter is the body type that they push on everyone. Landwell is what Cat Rocha calls them. If you guys know who Ishii and Cat Rocha is, Jay Shirofini and Cat Rocha, she calls them land whales. That's basically what they are, land whales. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, Arthur joining us here. What in the world are we living in at this present moment, where we used to promote good, now we're promoting bad? I'll tell you why I call it a harmful propaganda. But like I said, my stance is any propaganda is harmful. Even no matter how you slice it, propaganda is what it is. It's got its negative aspects, but it's harmful because it's really socially conditioning a year's worth of slobs. They don't want to be they don't want to be they don't want to push for a better tomorrow. And even when they pass away due to their bad habits, the media will still praise those who are of the body positive movement, the dark body positive movement, and they'll always say it's always the fault of anybody else. And how do they go about preaching this harmful propaganda? White supremacy is a health risk for plus size women. How? Explain. Oh, they explain all right. It's still baloney. It's still BS. When I hear somebody say that, I'm like, so you think the white man controls everything that you do? You wake up every day in the morning, the white man's telling you to eat that huge pizza by yourself, telling you to stuff big bowls of spaghetti in your mouth. You wake up every morning, he's sitting there in your room telling you, yeah, go ahead, eat a lot of Dunkin' Donuts. He's telling you every day not to exercise. The patriarchy is the reason why a lot of women are obese. So there's a man for every woman telling them that they shouldn't uh they shouldn't try to exercise, or at least they're telling you to exercise, and you don't like that because a man's telling you that you need to exercise. And we all know how women get on us about talking about their weight. They look they they really they're really insecure about their weight, even if they are of healthy standards. They don't want you talk. They don't want men talking about their weight, but these types they call it the patriarchy, right? uh, Brian Gilmore says, I really hate how everything gets connected to white supremacy when it's irrelevant. White supremacy. Here's the thing: white supremacy is dead. No, I'm sorry, it's not dead. It's on life support, like Thomas Sewell always said. Racism isn't dead; it's on life support, and it's up to. It's really. It's always been in our hands to keep it on life support. That's the thing. It's never going to go away. Of course, there's racism everywhere, as they like to say. But the way how they point out it's white racism that's everywhere. That's how they want to point it. But no, there's racism everywhere, even in Africa. In fact, there's classism in Africa. There's classism in China. Maybe in France. Let's go with that. Like, I used to think that they were naive. Now they're just, for lack of a better term, retarded. Excuse me, Melissa. Some brother says it's like these people read George Orwell as an instruction manual and not a warning. Yeah, I need to get back into doing the audio listen to 1984 one of these days, because I was 7 chapters in. I was like really intrigued by what that story was telling me. Trooper FN 2525 says by is like a critical theory used, but SJWs is used to deplatform ideas that thrive in a meritocracy. If we all can't be successful, healthy, well, etc., we all have to be miserable together. Thank you, Melissa. I know I don't. I try my best not to use that term because even I have friends. It's for the sake of my friends that I've built over the years. I know a lot of you guys have people who have very disabilities that one would consider them to be not well adjusted to a society, which I call BS. If you're willing to work patiently with that person, they can work with their inequities, if you will. Excuse me. Other than that, sorry, lost my train of thought again. Let's get into the hypocrisy when it comes to the men. So women are not allowed to no, women think that they shouldn't change not a darn thing about themselves, but they expect their men to be stocky, muscle tone, 6-pack, looking like a gargantuan. The way they talk about men is really, really bad. Like, it's very terrible if you ask me. And we all know this. Most of you guys here know the opposite end of how they treat the men, especially in media. And that's not going by personality wise. I mean they have certain body types that they want to push now. Originally, they demand that the men to stay if you will, stocky and all that stuff. But now in the media, they want to make them look like dad bods and harmless, harmless. Because a stocky man, a muscular man, is more threatening to them because most girls go after that, and they tend to leave the less fortunate boys behind. So they try to push for more of the round boy, as I like to call him, so that the boys don't have to work hard for it. But if you guys notice that if you take away a man's purpose by depicting the man like that, that's basically taking the man's purpose of why we work hard for ourselves towards a purpose. We get that bod obviously for healthy reasons to be able to take on physical obstacles in the world. We also get like that to attract a potential mate that's going to be our wives or our husbands. Hey, I'm not shaming anybody's orientation here. It's the reason why my wife is I stress it a lot, and I'm gonna keep stressing this. She can't. I love it when there are times when she look. I hate to give you guys this visual, but I walk around shirtless. Even before I started working out, I walked around shirtless, and she always liked to say that I was skinny, like a skeleton almost. Limit your swear words, by the way, Mad Nui. Mad Nui is here, by the way, guys. But yeah, but now that I exercise and build up some muscle, there are times she'll just squeeze my arm a bit or touch a pec, and she'll smile, you know. If any of you guys are in a relationship, you know if you start doing that. Yeah, but they're trying to portray the men as weak, as unsure of themselves, as feeble, as whatever David Carradine said in Kill Bill Bound 2. So they're trying to push for that more. They're trying to make them look like that so that we can ignore the hot guys, if you will. Sarah says her son Jake is tall up to the ceiling. He might have gigantism. Does ladies look at him? Because giant men attract women. Giant man is where it's at sometimes. I would say why I will give you my speculation, but I want to try my best to not be as crass as I usually were in the previous streams. I'm trying to be a little less crass. Melissa, I think you know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Arthur Jones says the physique of a Greek god. That's why I like to see myself too. Actually, sorry, we all should see ourselves. Even if we don't put the effort into our physical prowess, we should see ourselves and the peak performance in the age of heroes, like the Greek heroes, like Hercules and Achilles. We want to be smart and clever, like Odysseus. You want to be strong like Hercules. You want to be fast like Hermes. If you want to view yourself as a god, one of the gods, if you will, one of the okay gods. Brian Gilmore has an interesting comment. He says they treat men as things that they own, not as human beings worthy of dignity. Yeah, and I know where that comes from. I know where that comes from because since they cherry pick many instances in history where women were treated far less and treated lesser than. Now they feel they have the sense of revenge deep down. They lit. I've said this a few times in many streams prior to this. I'm not going to list them, but I've said this many times. They're living vicariously through the past. They are so head deep into their misery that when they look at history, they see it as misery porn to them. They want to live vicariously through those who have suffered. So you hear stuff like when they're telling somebody say something, and something that nobody agrees with, they always attribute it to the Holocaust or Hitler, but they never studied on the Holocaust or what Hitler did. Senator Proctor says, and it's a quote by Reagan, the trouble with our liberal friends isn't that they're uninformed, it's just that they know so much that isn't so. That is so true. Reagan, you left us too early, man. We need another Reagan. At least. Brian Gamar says they push for the emasculated man too, and most of them wind up hurting women in the end. Let that sink in. Exactly. And I said this again. You take away their purpose and they lash out. Men without a purpose tend to lash out because they're angry. They have no purpose. Or at least they're led to believe they have no purpose. They just can't figure out what their purpose is, which is really simple. And I know I said that I've decided not to have children, but our purpose in life is always to be of the animal, which is you live your life, you find your mate, you spread offspring. But in the case of the human being now, we have higher functioning brains than animals. We can build, we can nurture, we can. I will say this: being a person of no faith at all. Let's add in faith here. Let's just say the Lord, the man above. Let's just say this: the Lord, the man upstairs, created nature. Who's to say that he did not put us on this planet to maintain balance and order of nature? When we cut down the trees to keep the forests from overgrowing, when we try to there's such a thing as population control, when the hunters hunt on game to control population of animals. Who's to say we weren't brought onto this planet just for that? But they like to look at it as if we're the enemy. Oh, those poor animals. Now we're talking about the animals' feelings. The lion has no second thoughts if he sees you as a meal, if he hasn't eaten all day. I would love to put those animal rights activists in the wild and see how long they last. No cell phone, no computer. Heck, no, not even tools for them to even make a shelter. Let's go with that. Let them see, let them try to pet an animal out there, and then consider its feelings when it decides to attack. So my brother says my little sister is watching a Disney Channel sitcom right now. Every single one of them has emasculated man. They've always had that before this whole rise of social progressivism. They've always had that. If you really look back at it, we have Neo Star Productions in the house with this eloquent opener. The brilliant star that shines through the night, the steel-toed boot that stamps out crime. Rise, a man stands before you. Trooper FN 2525. Well, yeah, it allows for insidious behaviors to take root. You eliminate the female and male aspirational hero in pop culture, and what do you have? Beta males and woman. Right on. She knew Andre the Giant. Right on. Never say that about yourself, man, Nui. I'm gonna give you the new nickname Eeyore. That's what you remind me of sometimes when you say stuff like that. Never say that. Keep your head up, boy. Neil Star loves Odysseus, it seems. He's a big fan. I love the Odyssey. Brian Martin says, proof that misery loves company. That is so true. They should reside in hell then. If I believe in it, they should ride in hell then if they love misery. You got plenty of misery loves company. Well, you'll find plenty of there in hell, social progressives. Madness. This is America. Not kidding. Some brother says they don't even know that much history. If they did, they would see themselves. They'll see themselves and they'll still think they're the heroes. Some brother says we did have another Reagan. His name was Trump. He's a crass version of Reagan. I voted for that man too last year. Don't come at me. Whoever catches me say this on the stream, come at me. I did vote for that man. I cared about America, just like he did. I mean, I had to like the man. Spoiler, I did like the man. But that man put America first, and America needed to come first before we start fixing everybody else's problems. Arthur Joint says, funny how the more okay Greek gods have names that start with H, Hades, Hestia, Hermes, Hephaestus come to mind. Look at anybody else's names. Bjorn, Boars. You know, some names tend to start out like that. When you look at Arthur Johnny, I would say that's the beauty of language, which they're trying to correct too. Which that's gonna be the downfall for them. The way how they trying to call Latinos Latinx or Latinx. I like to call them Latinx. Nui. Come on, man. Come on, man. I lost my train of thought there. Trooper FN 2525 says, trouble with study history is that any counter narrative is usually stamped out. This is what Papacelli was trying to impart to me. Did he succeed? Are you seeing it? You don't have to always agree with the man, but are you seeing it from his perspective? That's the question. That is the question. How are you not seeing Matt Newey's comments artificial? Because I see him right here. I didn't block him. Guntoon says we need to have aspirational individuals in order for us to try to reach that bar. Even if it's impossible, could take us our whole lives. We still need those aspirations. I miss them too, Melissa. I miss them too. I miss people talking about them. Well, they still talk about them, but still. I know he says, if you're trying to punish someone who likes misery, wouldn't heaven be closer to their ideal of hell? Yeah, I think you're right. Send them to hell will probably be a be more of a reward than a punishment, right? Sam Proctor says there's a microcrime book about every animal turning against humans. Wouldn't have to be Congo, would it? I know Congo was about that. Apes hunting humans. Not hunting humans, but attacking humans. Trying to protect the minds of Zinj. And having no reason other than to just kill. I know that, but if there's another book that you're talking about, let me know in the comments. Ryan Martin with a counter argument to Matt Newey says, on the contrary, optimism is what keeps a person sane. It's negativity that's a waste of time. What do you think is behind these people calling everyone ists and foes on social media? My first vote too, man. Actually, you know what? Your first vote, my first vote in years of never voting. He was my first and only vote since last year. Actually, yeah, that was my first time voting, and I voted for him. All the here's the thing: all the evidence presented against the other guy, I'm like, nope, not getting my vote. Not getting my vote at all. FN 2525 says 45 is beast mode. Like him or not, he pulled a Toto and pulled the curtain off Oz, the great and powerful, and showed you these affluent levels of control exist. Exactly. Ragamar says, reminds me of a song by Suicidal Tendencies. You'll rot in heaven because you're too bad for hell. You'll rot in heaven because you're forgiven in hell. I gotta look up that one now. Gotta check that one out. That's actually a good line. Let's get back into the body positive movie because I think we went off the rails there. Excuse me. Yeah. Surprised I was able to get 1 hour out of this. Still checking to see if Leiaplussize is still around. I think what is really happening is that she had trouble on her end, either electric wise or internet wise. And it's sad because she was looking forward to this. You know what I'm saying? She was looking forward to this. Hopefully, what I could do is save this one and just do a part 2, but with her this time. Hopefully, we'll see. That'll have to be the Thursday after next because next Thursday, just giving you guys a heads up, we're going to be talking about that Mortal Kombat trailer. Anybody seen that Mortal Kombat trailer? As of recent, I have a lot to say about that trailer. Some good, mostly bad. Mostly bad. Senator Proctor with the clarification. It was Congo. I only read the first part though. It wasn't just monkeys. It was every animal on Earth hunting humans. Huh. Okay. That's why the movie sucked, because they focused on the gorillas too much. Though there was that hippo that attacked yeah, there was that hippo that attacked the boats. But that's I liken that to it's just protecting its territory. We'll have to read that book though. I agree, man. It'll probably be crap too. Yeah, guys. For those, yeah, you got a lot. Let me give you a heads up. Melina is black in this one. I have a lot to say about that. Oh, I watched one of James Lindsay's videos. I know who you're talking about, guys. Trust me. Some people you tend to recommend me. I'm already ahead of the curve. Oh I probably know that person now. Yeah, yeah, Brian. Yeah. I'm not gonna talk about it here, but next Thursday I have a lot to say about that because I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It makes me want to go back and watch that Katana that 3-part Katana episode of Mortal Kombat Legacy just to cleanse my just to cleanse my eyes of that. Yeah, Matt Newey, but now they're I literally was in a thread on Twitter and somebody complained about her potentially being killed by possibly Striker, and they mentioned BLM, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even. It's I told myself, don't engage, Wolf. Don't engage. Just move on. You guys strain to manage, and you don't need that negativity in your mind. So that's what I did. I didn't engage. I'm like, oh, I'll let you have this one this time. You flipping moron. It's not even about leave that stuff out of this. Oh my goodness. I need some context there. Whoa, do not engage the target. Repeat, do not engage. You're right. I'm not engaging. Disengaging from disengage attack mode. Breaking off RTB. Yeah, she is, but that begs the question: Is does that also mean Katana's gonna be black? I'll discuss it later, guys. Come on, guys. Let's not. Come on, guys. Let's get back into the topic at hand. I don't really want to get started before I literally get started next Thursday. I know I got a lot to say, guys. Oh, here's the thing. Okay, before I move on, let me tell you guys this: they didn't even veil her face. She's walking around without the mask. They don't even they didn't even do any prosthetics for her teeth. Yeah, guys, she has normal looking teeth. Why create a group now? Bring bring your thoughts on next Thursday because we're gonna be talking about it. I'm not only that trailer, but I'm also gonna be talking about all the games in the series. I'm definitely I'm gonna share some fond memories of Mortal Kombat on that stream. So it's not gonna be all doom and gloom, guys. I love you, Simon Proctor. I love you, man. Says abort, abort, abort. Noni. Oh, that's sweet. Brian Gamar says, now I'm tempted to start playing Fat Bomb Girls by Queen in honor of this stream. I might as well just sing it now that you bring that up. Actually, I don't even know what. I don't even know how that song goes. I'm not even going to attempt it. Well, let's hope that's some great hope. Oh, I gotta answer Neil Star this one. He asked me Lin Kuei or Shirai Ryu. It's Lin Kuei all the way, buddy. I'm a sub fan. I'm a sub fan. I'm sorry. I know everybody loves to main Scorpion, but I'm always a Sub Zero fan. Tried and true. I'm always Lin Kuei, even though even though their code contradicts a lot of things, or they never have no set goals for themselves. I'm always Lin Kuei. Besides, Lin Kuei is ruthless. Shirai Ryu is kind of honorable, but I like the ruthlessness of the Lin Kuei. I think I covered everything. Correct me if I'm wrong. No. Get away from Mortal Kombat. Get back to the topic. Take care, Sam Proctor. Don't rush yourself too much now. You got hours away. It's hours away. Dang. I know I had some. Oh yeah. Back to the top. Getting back to the topic. They don't respect preferences. That's another thing about the quote unquote body positive movements. They don't like preferences. They don't respect people's preferences, and they demand that people don't have preferences. You're not allowed to have a preference. Like when it comes to me, my preferable body types tend to be muscle built, fit. If it's thickness, I love thickness. If it's thick thighs, save lives, it's gonna be that. It's usually what my mood is at the time when it comes to my preferences. But I have a set type of preferences that I like in a woman, which I will repeat again: fit, built, sometimes slim, not too slim now. I don't want them to be a twig. Thick, but not too thick. Thick in areas where I enjoy the most is what I'm saying. I don't mind if the woman's an amputee. I wouldn't mind it. Let me lay that out there right now. I wouldn't mind if the woman has a scar or even a big mole on her cheek. But what really keeps me in that person's crosshairs is the character and the personality. But but here's the thing: you gotta shave your legs. I'm sorry, you gotta shave your legs. That's part of hygiene, if you ask me. I know a lot of dudes do that to themselves. They do that whole body shave and all that stuff. That full body shave, male models, and that's them. That's them. I'm a regular guy. I'm a hairy guy. I am a werewolf after all. I'm like, woman gotta shave her legs. Unless she's a werewolf, then have at it. If you're a werewolf, you can't help that. But yeah, I could tell them what my preferences are, and they'll look at me like, "Oh, you just don't like you don't like obese women." Yeah, I don't like that because I'm worried that they're gonna die. I rather them walking outside with me exercising. If I was tied to a morbidly obese woman, one thing for sure, I'm not of the business of taking care of somebody else's needs that they can do themselves. So I'm not gonna be in the house with a woman landwelling on a bed. I have to spend odious amounts of money to make a bed that supports her weight, to which she's not going to get out of to be able to trim that fat down. I'm not about to wash her. She's going to wash herself. I'm not about to feed her. She better feed herself. I'm not of that. No. I'm not taking care of a grown baby. That's the same thing with my wife. It's like my wife can cook for me, but she knows I can feed myself too. I'll tell her, "Hey, you did all this food for me day in day out. Take a break. I'll feed myself. I'll just get frozen burrito, and I'll be straight. Take a break." I'll tell her that. She'll look at me skeptical and all that stuff, but you know she's Filipino. Filipinos are dutiful wives. Fed man is their duty. Keeping their husbands fed is their duty. But I'm saying, hey, I appreciate all the dinners that you cook for me, but you take a break. You seem stressed. Take a break. Go rest, nap, do whatever. Do your thing. I'll feed myself. But if it comes down to a woman who ain't gonna if it comes down to a woman who ain't gonna do anything for herself to take care of herself and expects me to take care of her, I'm like, you got the wrong man. I'm not gonna feed no land well, and I'm definitely not gonna clean no land well. I'm sorry. I'll leave that woman in a heartbeat. Like you figure this out. Bye. I'll bring in divorce papers tomorrow. I'm not gonna support a woman that's gonna keep upchucking to keep herself thin either. That's some mental issues that you need to work out yourself. On to talk about the opposite end of that spectrum, I'm not for that. Like I said I'm not trying to be the woman that's willing to kill herself just to raise a statement, if you will. Ew, trooper. Not those ladies. Not those ladies. Mm-mm. I don't know how Senior Project saw that notification for Professor Geek. I haven't even got the notification. That's too early, if you ask me. Don't usually do it in the evening. That's weird. Unless he notified it in the Facebook group. Yeah, Trooper, come on. Pick some better lays than those two. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't mean to be as silent as I usually am. I'm just looking through your comments. Brian Gilmore says, "Don't call me pudgy, portly, or stout. Let me tell you once again who's fat." Oh, let me try it again. Don't call me pudgy, portly, or stout. Let me tell you once again who's fat. have to recognize that as a lyric. Thank you for that, though. What's this thing I hear about Boomerang? Okay. Okay. I agree there. Arthur Joint says moderation on everything, even moderation. Neil Star says body positivity always seems to come from rules for thee, not from me mentality. That's every movement, by the way, Neil Star. That's every movement. Every activist movement that I've seen thus far has been that way for the longest time. It's just gotten it's just out there in the open now that nobody's not many people are realizing that. Only those who are of the same mind is telling them rules for thee, not for, that's almost from body positivity to the animal rights activists to the pronoun game players to the trans the faux trans community, because I do believe that there's some good trans people out there that just want to be normal. Same thing with the LGBT community. They're the faux LGBT community. Let's give it this moniker from now on. Except for BLM, they ain't faux. There ain't no foes in there. Anybody who's part of that movement is soon to be a trained Marxist and a trained Nazi. I said that out loud. That's funny. I dare you two to even try to shut me down for saying that. I'm at this point. I'm daring anybody to try to shut me down. At this point, but I'm just oh there it is. Sarah Parker, what you worried about? On my end, in my time, it's 7 p.m. You got a lot of time, buddy. Excuse me. Bringing more into Arthur's joint. Oh yeah, you said you couldn't see Manui, right? I've been having the same problem with Will Guerrier on Micah and the Hatman streams. Huh. Interesting. YouTube shenanigans again. Neil Star says moderation and reciprocity. Chat just jumped again. Manui says, that drives me crazy. Just having someone do something for me I could do myself is actually kind of infuriating. There's nothing wrong with somebody cooking for you, though. There's nothing wrong with that. Just saying, every once in a while, you want them to have a rest. Trooper FN 2525, keto worked well for me. My thought on it is that we're not all meant to live off a generic lifestyle. We, as guys go, should be aware there are different ways to get muscle/fitness goals. That is true. And that's one thing that should be. Here's the thing that the body positive community could be pushing: alternate lifestyle changes. Like I said, it originally was supposed to be accepting of imperfections, not laziness, like it is now. They want you to accept laziness instead of accepting imperfections like skin conditions, amputees, uh, horrendous scarring to a body. But the person is healthy in mind and body. Everything else is fine with the person. It's just that imperfection, right? It's like in a cracked doll, but everything else is pristine about the doll. Only thing that there's only one imperfection: a crack on his face, maybe, but the doll still look good. You see what I'm saying? Trooper says, "Oh wow, this stream has gone on for a bit. It's pretty cool. It, keep it with me, man. It gets like that. I used to start off by saying, if I'm by myself, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna start this, but I'm gonna try. And somehow I talk, and I'm like, oh wow, we reached the 3 hour mark now. Okay, this is called the Wolf Command Ramble. So if I'm rambling, I'm fitting the title to a T. Neil Star says, "Holy smokes, that's what's been missing: reciprocity and compensation. They demand people make these extreme changes to media and institutions, but provide nothing in return for it." That's all I'm saying. The analogy, you wasn't here earlier, but the analogy I made is they don't work for the food, for their own food, but they demand you give them your food. You get what I'm saying? They want. I want to repeat that again. They don't want to work for their own food, but they demand you give them your food that you worked for. how we toss up the argument in every situation when it comes to these institutions and these laws and these new orders and stuff, and all these type of new plans that they got for these lazy bums. It coming out our pocket for the money that we work hard for our meal, but they want to give them our meal. I've begun to see it for what it is since I started working. Since I got into to working and stuff, I'm like, bruh, I work hard for my money for what little they pay me, for the amount that they pay me. I work hard for my money. Where my tax return? Where my money back guaranteed? Sorry, that's another rant for another time. Hey, I did good, guys. I cut off a rant. Well, that's the mindset. You should not really think of it like that, man. No, sometimes people do things as an act of kindness, not an idea of serving you. It's not how that works, buddy. It's the wrong mindset to think like that. To think of it like that. Lazara says, "I hate the rebranding. Bring back the toy bumpers on Boomerang Action." I remember those. I always wanted to own those too, by the way. The He-Man toys. Trooper FN 2525 to Neil Star says, "I would argue that the return is in the form of clicks and likes and retweets. All they want to do is look at it from a window shopping perspective. That's what they want to do." Neil Star says to Trooper, "It won't show it. Come on. Thank you." Which only goes so far in the ways of compensation. There is no compensation in that. There is no compensation in likes and clicks. Nada. Nada. You gotta give them the green for compensation. Brian Yamar says, "It's always taken from the productive and giving to the lazy." So true. You know something? I hate to say this sometimes, but I have said this in the comments a few times. I have adopted a more rigid way of thinking at times. And from where I'm standing at this point, where we should have went as a society is that the mindset of if he don't work, nor shall he eat. Those who don't work can't be allowed to protect anything. You didn't work for this, you ain't getting none of this. If you want to sell your dispute, or if you want to do something for yourself, get up off your behind and join us like the rest, and then you can eat. You get your meal if you worked for it. But if they say I'm not going to do it, then you're banished. Bye. Get out of our community. Go somewhere. Figure out how you gonna eat on your own. Because if you don't pull your weight here, you ain't eating. I think we need to go back to that. I really do. I really do think we need to go back to that. Skeleton says exactly. Where's the representation for the amputees, the skin conditions, and the visibly scarred? I have seen some of these individuals as models, and let me say, they're beautiful, hot, etc. Exactly. Like they don't put. And here's you know another thing about this, they don't make a company themselves to push that. They want somebody else to do that. It goes for any other activism. They don't build their own business to actually go out and do stuff like that to really offer a better way of promoting beauty, if you will. They don't make no studio that promotes amputees as models or plus. Well, now we're starting to get plus size women as models now, but come on, you they act as they act as if nobody's not doing enough, or they act as if everybody should be doing it like they do. Like, no, you can be the person that does that. What's so hard in that? Do just do just continue to do that. Continue to promote what you think should be promoted more, and let the rest follow after that. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Um. Neil Star and Trooper. Y'all check out uh New Discourse. He did a reading of James Lindsay. Check him out. He did a reading of Marx's book, and it really fits these guys to a T. I call I call Marx the first man child. Okay, man, live a lonely, comfortable life if that's what you choose. That's fine. I'm not shaming you. Super FN 2525 to Neil Star Productions. Yep, I keep pushing James Lindsay because the sooner people get caught up to critical race thinking how critical race theory works, the sooner you're prepared to refute the poisoning of current art and current culture institutes. Let me talk about the art now. Actually, you know what? That'll be a good segue. Art, the High Republic. Think about that for a minute. That quote unquote boy, that fat boy that they promoted. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys talking about emasculating man? They're effeminating man in these books and these stories. They want the take mm, take the New Rock series for example. You have Glimmer as this thick girl. Oh, you know something? That's one thing. Yeah, especially in the art. You know how they promote these so-called body types that they want to produce? They promote them like themselves. They promote thick characters as hot-headed, always shooting down authority. That goes for any person that they quote unquote try to have representation. They talk about they try. I'm gonna try to start a new stream about stereotypes and stuff. Compared to the quote unquote stereotypes that we used to get back in the days, these are stereotypes themselves. Oh, sorry. Let me pause for a minute to read Scooter's comment here. He says, "OMG, I'm going to use that dude forever, that now forevermore. Whenever someone talks about Marxism, Karl Marx is the first man child, a man who grew up in privilege and then complained about the privilege of others." Bragamore says, "Representation for me, not for thee." No, I'm gonna tell you right now, Schooner, and everybody else who's listening, those who are listening, I'll tell you right now. When I was listening to James Lindsay's read of Marx's book, that's what it sounded like to me. A man child complaining about everything in his own house, and somehow he got rich off his complaints in a book. He thought he's a man child who sat in his house far too long and thought if the world would just listen to him, life would be better. He saw an issue in the situations of others that nobody else saw, and he basically threw a monkey wrench with his book. Somebody caught wind of his book, and somehow they thought he was what he was saying was scientifically sound because he wore a suit or something, you know. Super FN 2525 also brought up Herbert Marcuse and Grumsky. Yep. Yeah, lots of man children. That's basically what they are, man children. Hmm. That's basically and with that teaching, they pretty much raised a bunch of man children and woman children too. Oh yeah, and now they're running the country. Most of them are. The, and and the way how I describe them running the country, it's treehouse. That's all it is, a treehouse. They're playing house in a treehouse. That's how they run the country at this point. I made a comment on MeWe to it was a reply to Troy on MeWe saying these people will lead these people will have Red Dawn happen to this country. I don't know when. I don't want to scare anybody. I don't mean to scare anybody. But Red Dawn might happen too if for forever how many years these people stay in power. Red Dawn's gonna happen. And why? Because they invited them in because of feelings. You know what's funny about Red Dawn? Nobody actually they don't ever actually explain how the Russians got over to the U.S. like that. You know, they with the way how the U.S. is secured in our defenses, especially at that time. If you really look at that timeline that movie take place in, I'm like, wait a minute, how in the heck the Russians were able to fly over us like that, knowing full well we have a navy that can most likely shoot them down. You're right, Trooper. That rabbit hole is deep. It's endless too. You will never gonna find no hole. I mean, I'm sorry. You're never gonna find no bottom. Maybe a string of tunnels, but no bottom whatsoever. No end point, unless we say it ends. But oh goodness, yeah. Let's get back to the art. Um, the way they portrayed these type of these quote unquote underrepresented when we had lots of represented characters. I'm gonna read that comment later, but yeah. Who remembers the representations of certain groups back in the days, if you will. I remember a lot of plus size people doing acrobatic stuff in movies and cartoons. I remember smart plus size people working on engineering, working in engineering mostly, or sometimes they were communications, or sometimes they were like the big guys or the big girls. I remember characters like what's her name? Scooter's sister from Borderlands. Somebody will tell me in the comments if you guys are Borderlands fans. I love that character. I really do. She she has that charm about her. She fixes up your car, gives you a new car, and she's hitting on you. And she's built. Let's not forget she has huge mountains that she carries around. But still, that didn't detract from that doesn't that didn't detract from how great of a character she was. Again, first and foremost, I love her personality. Uh, Heck, there was a Ball Boy from Legion of Superheroes. Youthful, wisecracking class clown, but very capable in his own right. Then there was also Uncle Iroh from Avatar: Last Airbender. He was plump, but he chimmed down as he liked to say back in the days. No mention of the no mention of the current president, Melissa Harris. Keep it. I know I mentioned Trump, but we don't talk about him in these parts. We don't talk about the other guy in this. That's why I call him the other guy. uh, Lost my train of thought there. Yeah, Uncle Iroh is the best example of somebody actually working really hard to to break out of prison. He had to, if he, because who's to say that his brother wouldn't execute him for being a traitor? He knows how his brother runs the Fire Nation, so he had to get out of there, of course, or say if you really want, yeah, there was a lot of plus size characters that had charm and personality. Nowadays, they make them so they either make them overweight, they make them angry like everyone else in their ilk. That's the thing. They're always angry, mad at the world every time. And I like how Neil Star mentions Chris Farley. I love Chris Farley. Even John Candy, rest of souls, by the way. Plump men, really good at comedy. So don't tell me that we're still under this impression that there's no representation of plump people. I like to call people plump people. That's what I'm calling now. I know I know it's plus size or fat or whatever. I like plump. Plump sounds good. Plump sounds cute. That's what I say. Plus plump sounds cute. Oh y'all, y'all. Since y'all on a roll, give me all the good representations of good plump people, of good amputee characters too, of good representations of people with good scars. Um, Also, give me some good representation of those with skin with skin issues. Give me put that all in the comments. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta pull up Professor Geek again. Wish the Lady of Valor was here to handle my lightweight, but you know stuff happens. All right, I'm back, everyone. I'm saying everybody, listen to some good examples. But before we get into it, we'll say we'll do Squint Tune's comment right here. And he says, Red Dawn, if it happens, well, a wise man once said, bring them on. I prefer a straight up fight to all this sneaking around. And of course, he brought up Bob from Tekken. I used to hate Bob. People spam him whenever time they use him. But he's fun to play as, though. Trooper FN2525 says, a good example is an older form of Star Wars reasserting itself with a fan around Gina Carano, who was an MMA fighter, so she's built fit. Can't have Cara Dune take attention from Ava Chris. Yeah. See, they always want to push that bi positive nonsense, but they're afraid of competition. They're completely afraid of competition. They don't want people to take their eyes off the quote unquote real stars of their quote unquote show or whatever. Ryan Gamora also mentions E Honda from Street Fighter was a sumo wrestler. We all miss John Candy, Neil Star. We miss all the great comedians. Like even Bernie Mac. I miss Bernie Mac. There's never a day where I don't miss Bernie Mac. I know, and there are moments where I'm like, dang, I miss Bernie Mac. Trooper fan adds to his Gina comment. Gina's a big girl, but that's because she's healthy and works out. You look at High Republic and you see what Hollywood pushes as normative or acceptable body logic. How's that fat Jedi get around? Oh, he's using the Force to propel himself, so he's using Force farts. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that if somebody ever bring that up in front of me, I'm like, so he's Force farting. He farts with the Force. Okay. I'll take your word for it. Heck, let's not forget that one plus size man, which is loved by all. Santa Claus. Darn right he is. Star brings up Mario and Wario. Don't forget Luigi. He's got a little beer belly, a little beer gut. Schooner brings up a good point. Luke Skywalker is an amputee. He didn't stop. He didn't let that stop him. There's another amputee who didn't get the same prosthetic treatment that Luke did, and he's in the Legacies part of Star Wars, where he's with Cade Skywalker. He's an amputee. He's a Twi'lek that lost his arm in a fight against what's her name, Darth Talos. There was also a lot of other Jedis who were amputees as well. There was, I forgot her name, but there was this one Jedi during the Clone Wars. She got a prosthetic arm though, but she was an amputee as well. But I meant to specifically talk about that Twi'lek because he's the only Twi'lek I know that fights one arm. He doesn't have a prosthetic arm. He just fights with one arm, and I thought that was cool. No, I still believe that it's cool. Neil Star also says Santa Claus is the GOAT. He is. Tuna with his comedy. I got good scars, but I'm not at scrutiny here. Brian Gilmore, Braun from Fire Emblem was a portly dude who could serve as a meat shield in gameplay because night class. Oh yeah, those guys, man, those guys are tanks. Edward Elric, yes, he's an amputee. What did he do? He didn't cry about it. He walked about it. Somebody give me a Kingpin quote from Spider-Man 90s. Come on, Melissa, give me some positive portrayals of plump people. We're not talking about the negative, positives. We're in the fun part of this stream now. Brian Amar missions model from Biker Mars from Mars has a cyborg arm. Yep, all due to that toxic waste. You forgot that oh my god, what's his name? The leader, the main leader, the yellow mouse. He he's he's got sensitive eyes. That's why he wears the shades because his eyes were jacked up by radiation poisoning. If I recall, you can correct me in the comments, Brian. Don't forget about him. He's basically disabled. Scooter Tone says Aquaman, the Justice League TV show, lost his hand and he had to have a hook. Still kick some serious butt. Yep, that's right. He turned into a harpoon gun too. Sherman Clump. Night Professor. Hercules, 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 Hercules. Thank you, Melissa. Get you a mic, man. Get you a mic. We can do that. Squinto says, I know you're not a fan of Don Cheadle, but Rhodey was crippled and he's still able to fight in the Avengers movie. That is, we could let's be fair. We could separate him from Rhodey. Yeah, Rhodey was definitely a cripple, and he did step up again because they were. It's funny how they brought that tension in Civil War, saying that he may not walk again, and lo and behold, Tony found a way. So I got a little distracted there. Peter Griffin, the Blob from X-Men. Yep. Drewer FN 2525. Doctor Strange had his hands crushed and rebuilt, then became the Sorcerer Supreme. I miss classic Peter Griffin too. Neil Star. You're right, Mad Nui. They're not really fat. They're just made of muscle. Big muscle. Schooner Tuna says Charles Xavier is crippled and look what he accomplished. If you talking about favorite biker mice, Neil Star, Vinny is mine. I like Vinny. Ow! I don't even know who that character is. Interesting, but Brian with the Dynasty Wars yet again. Shiodun. No, wait, he got the pronunciation there. Shahodun lost his left eye in Dynasty Wars. Don't forget the big plump dudes in Dynasty Wars. Give me some more names there, Brian. There's a lot of people that there's a lot of representation in Dynasty Warriors. Lots of representation. Johnny Turbo. Okay. Sherman Clump force farts. He does kind of look like an effeminate version of Sherman Clump, that High Republic character. Trooper FN 2525 says they gave Avar all these Jedi powers and she's the bestest ever because reasons. Cara Dune is contrast as a refugee from Alderaan, Merc, etc. Who's this aspirational hero here? That's the thing. The way how they create these Jedi for the High Republic is the way how we would create them in high school. And I used to be like that too. But my characters had training before they had all that overpoweredness to them. I was going to do a video of my edgelord artwork that I got into. I did do my old artwork when I was 14 slash 6 years old. Now some Jedi character, quote unquote Jedi characters there, but like I said, the Jedi characters had training. They're good, but they had training, and they also had limits to how their force abilities work. These guys don't know. These guys don't have no sense of limits whatsoever, none. Neostar says, actually, now that you mention it, all the biker mice either have a scar or a disability. Exactly. If you really read the synopsis, they were all affected by Limburger's toxic waste chemical spills and his radiation spills. Everybody was affected. All the mice on Mars were affected in some way. Chris P is in the house, by the way. He also gives us this gem too. Says, "Hey, Wolf 10, Arsenal from DC has a prosthetic arm, especially the Young Justice version." Yep. It's a shame that they screwed up his personality though, because they want to be dark and edgy. Brian Martin mentions Daredevil blind due to toxic waste. Melissa Harris says Kingpin. She says she runs it with an iron fist. Super says Thor lost an eye and got a cyber eyepiece from Rocket, of course. Original mentions Al Simmons, aka Spawn, and Deadpool, which mean they're all scarred and they kick butt. Shuju is fat and strong as Nox. If you're talking about dude with the bear claws, I hate that guy. I hate fighting him, to be exact. Every time he pops up, like, oh, I don't want to hurt. I don't want to fight you. You hit too hard. Of course, Lu Bu, you don't want to meet on the battlefield, but before Lu Bu even comes in the battlefield, it's always this. If you're talking about that guy, like, yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near that guy. He hits too hard. And he hits too much. There's no stopping that guy. Along with Lu Bu. But is he crippled? Well, he has. You said he has a crippling heart problem, Melissa Harris. That's right. But we're talking about people with amputees and stuff like that. Well, you know what? Since I mentioned Ira, yeah, you can mention old man Bruce. Yeah, you can bring some old people too. Star says, fun fact, the same actor that voiced Vinny from Biker Mice from Mars also voiced Nick Tatopoulos and Godzilla the animated series. Way better performance than Matthew Broderick. That's only because he's a different character as a whole. He's not even that's how you spell his last name. But yeah, he's a different. The tone in Godzilla the animated series is far different than the movie. Far different than the movie. Excuse me. That's why it's better. It's really what, truth be told, the series is what we should have gotten in the movie. Melissa Harris brings up Oracle. Yep. Until they undid that, but we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about something positive. Ragamar Mrs. Kang from Street Fighter has a scar across her left eye. I did not know that was a scar. Interesting. What Sarah says, they had a horse short with a blind little girl in a wolf mask, and Red Riding Hood get up beating the hell out of kids in a wolf mask. It's badass. I recommend you look it up. Give me the name. Give me the actual name, and then I can look it up. He's a positive portrayal if you want to get a real villain out of him, Matt Newey. He is the one that you shouldn't aspire to if you're a plus person. You can inspire his ambition to use it for good, but never be a kingpin. Of course, duh. Positive portrayal as if you want to do a villain right is what I'm saying. Right, Gamora says there's Ming Hao and Shu Shu was the guy with the big. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I can't stand that dude, Ming. When every time he pops, like, bruh, I hope. Oh, where I'm going to turn the tide of this fight, you're not there. Cause yeah. Ooh, Schooner 2 gives us this one. Mad Eye Moody from Harry Potter is missing an eye, and he has a prosthetic leg, and is one of the top orders in the Order of Things. He was also plus size too. But there's also mission in the same short. The blind girl, even is as an old woman, still kicks ass. Also, she has a crippling heart condition like Batman from Batman Beyond. Give me the name, please. Arthur Johnny says Kanan Jarrus from he's a Jedi Knight. Yeah, Kanan Jarrus from Rebels. I think he got blinded, right? There's also what's his name from The Force Unleashed? The blind Jedi, the one that Starkiller blinded. Don't forget about him, guys. Come on. If I know his name, I think his name was I can't remember his name. That's sad. Super FN 2055 brings up Donald from Donald from Deadpool 2 had Vertigo. Definitely better than Captain Wama. And she has luck powers for a mutant ability, which people still are skeptical. Brian Gilmartin brings up Guo Hui was constantly sick and having coughing fits. Don't forget Toki from Ken's Rage. Or is it Toby? I'm gonna sell for Toki. Dead Hearts. Thank you, Melissa. I'll check it out. Dragon Missions in pro wrestling, Zach Gowen wrestled on one leg. Oh, nice. Rom Kota. There we go. I know it started with a K, but yeah, Rom Kota. He's bad. He cool. He bad. He one bad mofo. Excuse me. I didn't mean to pause there. I was stretching a bit though while I'm thinking. Oh. Somebody else brings up somebody from Fist of North. So he's like, while we're on Fist of North Star, Shu, yes, was blind. He bad. He bad, man. He bad. Ain't nobody. only person who could touch Shu is Ken. That dude bad though. Took 2 fingers to the eyes, still kick him some butt, some mad butt. And don't forget, there's another blind character that from y'all can go anime too. Come on, bring some blind amputee anime characters. Y'all slowing down a bit. Put them all in the chats. Put the names of the shows that they came from too. By the way. Yeah, while we were on Mortal Kombat earlier, yeah, Bo Racho does count. He bad. Even though nobody likes him that much, he bad though. Y'all forget about Ken though. He lost an eye, got a new eye for it. There's also Jax. Why y'all forgetting about why y'all doing my boy Jackson Briggs like that? Why y'all gotta do him like that? He got prosthetic arms. He's an amputee too. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you guys. Heck, I think. Oh, did anybody forget about Buzz Lightyear from Star Command? The Chief. He's got a peg leg that can shoot a cannon that doubles as a cannon. He'll start bringing some Zatachi. I love that movie, man. I love that movie. So you don't mess with Zotachi. You just don't. You don't mess with him. You don't mess with that. Schooner Tuna says the main girl from Silent Voice anime is deaf, and she's so dope. I still need to watch that. Triple FN 2525. Maul got cut in half and still was a bad dude. Sachi from Fist of North Star ripped his own eye out protecting Kenshiro. Yep. Dunbond from Xenoblade Chronicles has a crippled arm. Nice. Let's not forget Astorius from Dark Souls. Dude's still trucking on with one arm. And don't forget Guts now, guys. Come on. You guys know I love me some Berserk. And y'all ain't mentioning Guts yet. I know y'all can do it. I believe in y'all. I believe in y'all. So far, I've update on where I'm at in Berserk. I have finally cleared Lost Children arc. I'm now on Holy Iron Chain Knights arc now. I'm there now, or at least what's it called? What's that arc called again? With the Holy Chain Knights specifically? Tell me in the comments for any Berserk fans here. I think it's what, Redemption arc? No, that's not what it's called. Somebody will tell me. He didn't lose it. He literally cut it off. That's what you guys know my analogy of why I think it's always the greater good. That's where I got the analogy from. Me cutting off my arm to save my wife. That's where I got that analogy from. Guts. He did it for the greatest good. His greatest good. His girl. They don't know anything about sacrificing for the greater good. Heck, Spock sacrificed his life for the greater good. Needs of the many and all. Even though he was a villain, I still count Kaname Tosen. Who is he from? Yep, he does have a missing eye and missing arm. But like I said, he cut off his arm. He didn't lose it. He literally sacrificed it to save Casca. Now, he lost an eye, but he literally amputated himself to save his girl. That's how bad Guts is. Let's say as mentions Genkai, Yu Hakusho, even with a heart condition, she's still bad. You guys gotta keep. Well, you know what? Let's keep going. That does count as a disability. She also mentions blind girl from Hunter. I don't know who that is. You gotta give me the name. Neil Star brings up Joseph. Joe Star lost his hand and what's it called? Battle tendency. He did do that. That did happen. I didn't know Chesa was blind. She seems to navigate all around the world. I didn't know she was blind. That's new. Right, Gamar mentions Barrett from Final Fantasy VII lost his arm and had that Gatling gun put on. Exactly. And he later, in Advent Children, replaced it with a mechanical arm that turns into a cannon. No. I'm about to call you Leiaplussize. I'm sorry. Melissa, Hinata's not blind. That's just how our eyes are designed. Oh, okay. Tosin's from Bleach. Oh, yeah. I knew his name sound from. See, I don't call him that. I call him. I forgot what I call him. But yeah, Captain Tosin. I kind of like it. I kind of liked him for a while, but then he became a traitor. I was like, nah, man, why you gotta be a traitor? Not because he's black either. It was never because he's black. It's just the fact that he's one of the coolest design characters I know. I was like really digging him. Then he became a traitor. I didn't like that. Ward from Final Fantasy 8. I'm not that far into Final Fantasy 8, so I don't know who that is. I'll take your word for it though. Oh yeah, also from Battle Tennessee, Rudolph von Stroheim. He's a cyborg. Yeah, we already talked about Daredevil. Daredevil did get mentioned, but you can stand to mention him again. As a matter of fact, there's other people that you can mention too. Stick, don't forget Stick. How you forgetting Stick? Stick is his trainer. He's a blind man too. This Harris brings us with the cyborgs from Cyborg 009. Yep, that's base. Yep. Oh well, Chris P already beat you to it, so yeah. Oh yeah. Skeleton says Long John Silver from Treasure Planet was plus size, had robotic arm, eye, and leg. Bonus points. He's a bad guy turned good. I wouldn't go that far to say that. He just have a soft spot for Jim. I'm pretty sure he's still a bad guy in the end. He's one of those bad guys that's like, well, you did save my life, so I'm gonna spare you. I'm not gonna do anything to you, or you represents the better part of me, so I'm not gonna do anything to you. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing as far as I'm gonna go, but other than that, you're good in my book. I'm not gonna mess with you. So I just think he's still a bad guy. He just got a soft spot for Jim. That goes for any iteration of John Silver, any iteration. Melissa Harris brings up Bash from Trigun, covered in scars. He's a sexy man. Alita from Trooper FN 2525. Yep. Don't forget Hugo and any other cyborg out there. Neostar says, I thought Tosen was cool because he was modeled after the Zotachi, the blind Sakurai. Samurai. He corrects himself. Don't forget Wolf, guys, from Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Wolf has a wooden prosthetic. He's a ninja with a wooden prosthetic. Don't forget the wolf. Not talking about myself, by the way. Man, no, you always got something. You always got something to say. Come on. Says, I got nothing briefly. Adam Jensen from the newer Deus Ex game sprang to mind, but I'm not sure what the topic is right now. We're just talking about good representations of body positive that they try to that we can list that's already been done, that these idiots are trying to quote unquote push as new and hip and brave and all that stuff. Chris P says, how about Dr. Kirk Connors from Spider-Man? He's missing the art. Yep. Good man, tragic villain. Who are you talking about? What's the context there? Who are you talking about? Oh, you're probably talking about Vash. Yeah. Crispy says, oh yeah. Yep, he did. Okay. Still scrolling down. Arthur Johnny says porn ref is wheelchair bound in part 5. Johnny Joestar from Steel Ball Run. Not there yet. Arthur Johnny, not there yet. Thank you for mentioning it though, but not there yet. I know he says about Ellen Jensen says Final Funny talks like Bill's Batman, but just like Neo. Not really Neo. That goes to JC Denton. JC Denton was more of a Neo lookalike in Deus Ex, the original Deus Ex. And just was more of a shall I say, it's kind of a modern day agent from Matrix, like a good version of Agent Smith. But I didn't ask for this. But the one who looks like Neo is J.C. Denton. Melissa Harris says the blind girl was from Chimera Ant Art from Hunter x Hunter. She did the King Ant. Not there yet. I'll probably pick up on that whenever I get there. If they do release another season of Hunter x Hunter on Netflix, which I doubt they will. Not hold my breath there, guys. Brian Gamar says, how about Sawyer the Cleaner from Black Lagoon? Sawyer the Cleaner. Is that chick with that chainsaw? She does. Yeah, it's her. It's the one with the scar on her across her neck. I'm surprised that you mentioned her, but you didn't mention Balalaika. That lady is sexy, despite her burn marks. But I ain't gonna date that. That chick is crazy. How you gonna not mention Balalaika, man? Shame on you, Brian. Shame on you. Let's go into mentions Alex Murphy. Melissa Harris says through the bark, Dr. Guy and Captain from One Piece, both overweight. Yep. I don't know. I'll take your word for it because it's been a while since I looked at, let alone read One Piece. It's far too vast. Did not know that. Keep Us Blind and Wolf's Rain, the manga. You're talking about Bateau. That's yeah. Well, if you're gonna mention Bateau, Melissa, you might as well mention all Section 9, except for Togasa. That's basically that's a full body prosthetic when it comes to the major. A full cyber brain, a full cyberized body for the major. That's basically an entire prosthetic. If you're gonna mention Bateau, you might as well mention all Section 9. Like I said, safe for Togasa. He says, I deliberately don't pick that line whenever I play the game due to how much it's memed on. 9 times out of 10, that line is true when every time somebody says that in real life. I didn't ask for this. Some things are forced upon other people. Think about it from that. Triple FN 2525 mentions Kreia from KOTOR 2, while not a hero. Doesn't have to be heroes, guys. You can mention villains too. Doesn't always have to be heroes. Mention villains too. I'm talking about representations where they're actually doing something and not sitting on their behinds, wallowing in sorrow about their imperfections. I'm talking about. But let me finish with his comment. While not a hero, still very iconic for Star Wars from the early 2000s. Exactly. Drachma from Skies of Drachma from Skies of Arcadia has prosthetic arm. I still need to play that game. I wish I had a GameCube right now, at least a Sega Dreamcast so I can play that game. I've been wanting to play the game for the longest time. He said, oh crap. Brian Gamar says, oh crap, I forgot about Balalaika. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, that bit. I'm about to say the B word, guys. I'm about to let that slip. Now, news says, only reason why I remember Jensen was one, everyone was listing off characters with cybernetics. I never played the original games. Yeah, I was saying, just saying, if you really want to find the one that actually was really emulating Neo, Jason Denton was the main one. But even then, JC Den was basically Dark City emulation, not necessarily Matrix. They were in Deus Ex was taking some inspiration from Dark City, which I still need to watch. Don't hate me, guys. I haven't watched Dark City yet. Liz about Hunter x Hunter. She says they still haven't released the dark content art from Hunter x Hunter. Our first joint brings about biking from Guilty Gear. Only one that that bra is she bad. She is bad. Yes, they do need a remake or at least a re-release. If if anything, I'm okay with Skies of Arcadia being re-released for the Switch because the one that if there's ever a way for Nintendo to get my money to buy a Switch, it'll be re-releasing Skies of Arcadia on the Switch. That'll get me interested. That and re-release Baten Kaitos one in its prequel. Bliss brings up Captain Barbosa, got a peg leg in Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, y'all mentioned pirates, but y'all ain't gonna mention the famous pirate James T. Hook. And yes, all Section 9, besides Togusa. Togusa is, remember, you watched our, you were in me and Matchstick's stream about Ghost of Shell Standalone Complex. We mentioned that Togusa is the only one that's not cyberized. I will have to check that out then, because I really I've been wanting to watch that one. I mean, yeah, watch a let's play of RPG. I will say this: it's kind of hard for me to watch let's plays of RPGs because sometimes, only sometimes, um, I want to play them so bad. Not, I look, I hate watching people make a decision that I know I wouldn't make if I was playing the RPG, and I also know that they're gonna play it better than me. But still, it's like watching somebody play an RPG. It's like I only watch. There are times I only watch the RPG if I want to watch a boss battle, and I like seeing people owning a boss that I know I wouldn't be able to own myself until I grind and try to work the moves out. So it's gonna be a struggle for me to watch that if I ever get a chance to. I was surprised I was able to get through Front Mission 4 walkthrough because I played Front Mission 4. I had Front Mission 4, but it was so weird playing watching a let's play of that, knowing full well that if I ever played that game, I would not have done the exact same thing these guys would have done, but maybe I would have figured it out eventually. But it was a trip. That's what I'm saying. It was a trip. Squirtona says Tron and Tron Uprising was scarred and he still kicked butt. Yeah. It goes for any programs that got scars too and missing arms due to the de-resolution. He's Troopers talking about Dark City. You haven't watched Dark City? Of course I haven't watched Dark City. That's still on my bucket list. Among many other movies that people have acclaimed a lot. Dark City. Still need to finish Warship Down, the animated version, not the Netflix one. Um, Plague Dogs. I need to get to watching that one. I want to check out Plague Dogs. Other effed up animations I want to watch that I heard were good, but a lot of people like creeped out about it. I can't remember. Exactly. James T. Hook got his hand bitten off by a crocodile. Though he likes to blame Peter. Boom, 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 boom. Matt Newey says, mostly I try to think of heroes because I hard fly call the villain a positive portrayal of basically anything. Positive portrayal as in he's a good, if he or she is a good villain that you like to hate or you enjoy watching them be the villain. And you know the difference between a hero and a villain. There's no in between there. Not like what they're pushing. Anybody seen that Cruella trailer? I saw that mess. I want to talk about that, but I don't know, man. I don't know what I can say about that. Personally, I like the theatrical release of Dark City, but the theatrical cut makes for a good rewatch stream. I'll have to watch them both then to make my decision on what that could entail. Score 20 says that what I love about Ghost in the Shell. The only one not satirized is the one everyone takes the Mickey out on, but they all privately envy them. Hmm, I like that. Your star says Captain Hook is pretty damn strong. Have you seen the bumps and blows he took in Disney's Peter Pan? Yep. Yes, yes. Dark Continent arc, Melissa. Yes. Trooper says Captain Hook died several times and that never stopped him. Lol. This is interesting. Arthur Jones says Captain Picard has a prosthetic heart. Geordie LaForge has the visor for sight. Exactly. Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. Oh yeah, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. We have only just begun to live white lace and promises. Ash from Evil Dead. From Brian Gilmore, he says lost his hand. Now I think about it. Guys, if you guys are gonna miss lost, that means they unintentionally lost it. He severed his hand, meaning he got rid of it. It's not real. It's not technically a loss. That's just him sacrificing, making a sacrifice. Tuber FN 25 says Jordy was legit. Well, he's played by LeVar Burton, dude. Of course he's legit. Not kidding. Try to do his little laugh. I like a little LeVar's laugh. That's how you know. That's how you know you idolize somebody when you want to do their laugh so bad. What about oh, anybody's no, I'm not gonna bring that up. There's another character. Okay, I'm blanking on. Now I'm running out of steam. Sarah says Netflix Castlevania is well garbage and anti-Christian. I would not recommend it. I personally prefer the games over it, so I think they should make Soma arc of Castlevania into an anime. That's gonna be a while, Melissa. I have to agree to disagree. Some areas you can say that anti-Christian, not so much, cause put it like this: Trevor still believes in God. That's why his weapons work against the nightmarish horrors of Dracula. The only person who doesn't believe is Sypha, or at least they have their own way of a belief system with the site with the what they're called again. Now I forgot what order she belongs to, but Sypha's people, they have their own way of thinking, but they don't. Here's the thing about Sypha's people: they don't really mock God. Um, Anti-Christian, again, I doubt it, because they only portray certain priests as evil as far as they can. Don't forget that the fact that there was also a priest in what's that town called that he was in the first season. There was that one good priest that blessed the water. So they didn't, even though you had like two priests that were like of high order, and there's multiple other priests that bully other people. There was still one good priest. So if all the priests were evil in that show, then yeah, you can make that argument. But they were willing to show that there was few priests that were good. I will say one message that season 3 was trying to impart to some degree, okay degree, was the fact that those who are of good intentions tend to be also dark too. So that's what their message was going with season 3. But like I said, I agree to disagree with that. I don't think it's anti Christian because Trevor's Christian, if anything. Even you could say Alucard's Christian, despite being a half vampire. And hell exists in Castlevania. Plus, I don't think a lot of people like to say that Dracula and his wife are residing in hell. I don't think that's her in hell with him. I don't think that. I think that's his personal hell. The hell Dracula was in. I think that's his personal hell, and she's just a visage that keeps him there, keeps him docile, if you will. I think she's in heaven because she's an innocent woman. She did nothing wrong, right? She got burned at the stake. I think she's. I believe that she's in heaven and not in hell. Most people like to think that she is, but I'm like, no, I don't think that's her in hell with him. I think that's a visage of her, which he embraces, because that's his regret. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. I mean, going a long tangent there. Trooper FN 2525 shed some light as well. He says that started around the time Susan Rice took a seat on the board of Netflix. Who is this person? You tell me, who is this person? Even in Lords of Shadow, Lords of Shadow is heavy. Like, if you really want to bring that up, Lords of Shadow is heavy religious, and I was loving it. I was really loving it because they did bring in some good lore and practices to talk about. I'm switching around your comments. I didn't mean to do that. I feel your pain, buddy. Mad Nui, about YouTube trailers and ads. I feel your pain. Just going to brings up Paladin Alexander Anderson from Hellsing has a face scar on his face. Yes, he does. I turn eye for an eye. The Lord has given me dark energy to fight unholy creatures such as yourself. That's my terrible Scottish accent. Troopers giving some advice to Melissa, saying, yeah, if you can get your hands on anything that was released from Netflix prior to that, i.e. Daredevil, do it before they pull most of these titles from the shelves. They already removed most of the Power Rangers shows. So start getting your Power Rangers collection together. Squinton says, in Castlevania, Dina tells the corrupt priest that God is not in the church because the priest is a damned man. The scene also terrifies me, especially when the demon says it wants a kiss. Let me kiss you. Your transgressions makes God puke. But we love you. I love you, brother. Let me kiss you. But yeah, that I would say the series it's got its issues. I wouldn't go. I'm not going to be that quick to call it woke yet. not yet. But I'm kind of seeing some things. Like I was ready to call Carmella a straw feminist, but there were times when every time I rewatched her talk, she was the second wave feminist, not the feminist that we're dealing with nowadays, fourth wave. She's more a second wave. She kind of speak a little bit of fourth wave a bit in some dialogue some dialogue, but like when every time I hear her talk, like, oh, she's second wave feminist. She's feminist, all right, but she's second wave. Neil Star. Somebody please save Hector. Yeah, I don't like. I gotta agree with everybody. I don't like how they do my boy Hector. Especially when I play Curse of Darkness. Hector's bad in Curse of Darkness. He bad. I got. I gotta admit that sex scene with him and Lenore, when they started saying porn dialogue, I was like, oh no, you done took me out of the mode. Because I was watching, I'm like, it had no music, it had only music, no dialogue. But then when they started talking, I was like, oh no, why are they talking like that? I was okay with the modern cuss words in his show, but dang it, somebody needs to learn how to write a porn scene better. I can't believe I said that on stream. Sound like if you catch this in the back watch, I'm sorry. I know Troy's gonna get a kick out of it though. I can imagine it now when you hear me say that. That's my poor attempt at imitating Troy's laugh. Oh boy, you guys are slowing down on the characters here. I'm sure there's lots of people. Did anybody forget about Volstagg from the Warriors 3? He's plump, got a big axe, drinks a kettle empty. What about excuse me. What about Frankenstein? Frankenstein is a cadaver, a walking cadaver. Arthur's Joint says, I get the impression that Netflix version of Hector is on the autism spectrum now that he came up. Huh. Give me your examples, Arthur's Joint, because that's an interesting conversation to have. Melissa, Soma is in the far future. You can't just there's puts like this, Melissa. They're going with Trevor Belmont, but they haven't really gotten into Simon Belmont yet. And I think Trevor Belmont is created. I don't think he exists in the game somewhere, but they went with him for some reason. I know Trevor's in Curse of Darkness, and he was also in he was a remake version of in Lost Child 2. But yeah, they went with Trevor. I don't know why they went with Trevor Belmont and not Simon. Was Simon in the first one? Was that Simon in the first one? Or am I thinking of Simon's Quest or something like that? But no, if you want to talk about Soma is in the far future. We can't. I'm saying you wouldn't be able to get. You wouldn't even be able to get that far yet because you'll be skipping through all kinds of stories. We still haven't even gotten to Grant Dynasty yet. I'm still waiting for that. Let alone I don't know. Let me stop before I shoot myself in the foot. Triple FN 25 says still got all the Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist stuff. Yeah, that's because that's their property. Oh, Hector from Billy and Mandy. I don't know who that person is. I don't watch that much. I didn't watch that much Billy and Mandy, by the way. We're not gonna get anything like that in this show. I know that for a fact. We're not gonna get anything like that properly. Maybe, I don't know. It's still possible. So they're trying to is put it like this. Thank you for clarification, Chris P. Simon Belmont was the first two Castlevania games. Trevor was in Castlevania 3. All right, I stand corrected. So they pretty much so I guess let's get into don't forget the mentally disabled. Yeah, Bruce Banner's got multiple personalities. Yep. From trauma, no less. Luke Cage from Trooper FN 2525. He was essentially tortured, then gained his powers. Yep. Arthur Jones says, well, Hector has trouble interacting with people. He likes animals more, and the monsters he makes, its mission, he's like a big child in some ways. Yeah, I can see that. You say he's very antisocial towards other people. Aside from Dracula and Isaac. And Brian Gilmore is about to take off. I think this should be a good time to I think it is a good time to really cut this short now. I wish sadly the main star of the show for this type of topic wasn't here. Did they really cut him from the show, or are you speculating that they cut him from the show? Because there's still room to add him in. Let's make no mistake about that, Neil Star. There's still room to add. Like, did you hear that they come from the story? Because if they did, yeah, that's a shame. But whatever. I'm not going to dispute you. Anyways, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think it's time we could end it right here. I think I said enough what I said. If anything, as soon as I get a hold of Leiaplussize, we can probably do this again. This time, have her input on it. So I'll stop right here, guys. I'd like to thank everybody for before I sign off, Melissa, I'll actually give you my headcanon. I'm gonna give you my headcanon. I think Isaac is gonna be the I think they're my theory. Isaac's gonna be Death. I think that's where he's gonna be. And she mentions Harvey Dent. That's my speculation, because I'll give you why I theorize that Isaac might become Death, because so far there hasn't been really much mention of the Grim Reaper yet, right? He's a Forge Master that revives the dead into demons, right? He's battled legions of the dead, and he killed a necromancer, and gained a foothold into his home. Yeah, he gained a foothold in his home. A necromancer, guys. So there's a chance Isaac could learn the necromancer's magic. Here's another clue of what I like, of what I theorize that Isaac is going to be the next Death. Did y'all know that Death is fiercely loyal to Dracula? Who's fiercely loyal to Dracula in this show? Who did not betray Dracula? Isaac. So that's my theory. I theorize that Isaac's going to be the death in this show for the game from the games. So yeah, that that's my question. That's my answer to your question as a possible theory. Shoot the invite, dude. We could talk about that, and you know what? I'll do that and take that as some notes to bring to the to Mortal Kombat stream next week. So with that being said, like I said, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Tonight is the book study of Kenobi with the professor and Albaka. For tomorrow, I believe Green Line Girl has a stream going on. Fan Man has moved his Second Cup Cafe for the morning for tomorrow. So tune in for that one in the morning. I believe that the professor might have a gaming stream, but also later on tonight, I myself, along with Troy, Age Boomer, and Mr. Matchstick, will continue another episode of Culture Fortress. And we'll be talking about some good shows that have not been hit with the woke ray on that episode on that stream. So tune in for that one. Saturday, I'm speculating here. Don't quote me. I believe Nader is doing another rewatch on Saturday. I think. I'm not sure though. Somebody's doing a stream on Saturday. I know that. A rewatch, if you will. Sunday will be Geeky Geezers with Age Boomer and Troy Pacelli. Later on that day, it will be me and Matchstick doing a we watch. What anime? I don't know yet. He will have to basically post that in the Professor Geek stream. For Monday, we sounded Graver's Monday Night Muse. Yet again, we tune into her stream for that nightly suggestions about art, love of art, appreciation of art, and how to temper yourself when it comes to your art. Tuesday, hopefully she'll be with us that day. Leiaplussize will be joining me and Schooner Tuna for our continued discussion of the X-Men movies, starting with The Last Stand and First Class. And then Wednesday will be Songs with Berman with Age Boomer, possibly, or Al with Daniel Herron. Sharing that spot will be Green Line Girl's stream of Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Hopefully she's good, because yesterday she had a family emergency to cut the stream short, unfortunately. And the next day after that will be my streaming of talking about Mortal Kombat, specifically that trailer and my experience with the series as a whole, actually. So there. Tune in next week, guys. You guys know the drill. This has been your Wolf Commander Wolf 10 signing out.